So the new food pyramid has just come out. It is basically inversely proportional with the foods you have to eat to the first one. Now, the question is, should we trust this second pyramid? Should we eat exactly what it's telling us? What is the difference between the first and the second one? And is it in your best interest to follow the guidelines that we know the government is giving out? The first time around, we're not as healthy as we thought. It actually caused an epidemic of diabetes, of metabolic syndrome, insulin resistance, obesity, cholesterol through the roof, heart disease went up and skyrocketed, and now the second time around, we just don't really know if this is something we should follow. That's what we're going to analyze in today's video. Anything the government does, we have to watch and sometimes analyze to see if it's in our best interest to follow, right? With the experience we've been seeing in the past couple of years, not couple, even decades, and more than 40, 50 years ago, we've seen that this pyramid that was introduced to us back, 30, 40 years ago was not as healthy as some experts in health had foreseen. As a matter of fact, there were many experts who said that this pyramid was a total disaster. It would cause epidemics in just about any health condition we can think of. And it was true. It came out to be true. But the reality is that nobody really cared. They just went ahead and published something like this. We went and saw just about any condition skyrocket, and now we're seeing the same thing with vaccines. So we might want to take it carefully the second time. What does this second pyramid say, and what should we follow or not follow? Number one, the main food that was the least to consume back then. This is the main one now. By the way, they inversely put one period, inversely flipped it all together, and now we have one of the main foods, which is number one, is proteins to consume. We should be consuming, this is what the government says, protein in large amounts every single day, as meat, eggs, chicken, fish, poultry, and anything you can think of. And yes, it would help us. It would help us improve sarcopenia, which is the degradation of our muscles and keeping our muscles strong, which, by the way, extends our life. This is a check. It's a good thing. It would help us with and combating obesity and also frailty, feeling always that we don't have enough energy. Protein can give us the protein we need for us, obviously, if we go to the gym to exercise, make sure that we have a good physical activity and make sure we can stay healthy in the long run. My personal idea with this, and it may vary from person to person, protein should be one of our main ingredients in our foods and our meals. But if you consume it more than any other ingredient in your plate, well, you might be putting your kidneys, your digestive system, and your liver to work more than it needs to, especially if you're not one of those people who's exercising a lot to transform this protein into muscle mass. That is key. Remember, everything you eat, your body has to be using, and if it's not using it, it is being accumulated in your system. Number two, the second most, let's say, volume of food that you should be consuming, according to the second pyramid that it was just published, is vegetables. Yes, I agree with that. It could be true. Very important. Vegetables, in this case, vegetables that are high in nutrients, high in ingredients that are antioxidant, that have all these vitamins and minerals you need. Like, for example, kale, spinach, beets, carrots, lettuce, all these vegetables are great. Now remember, this way of you eating can vary from person to person. I am one of those physicians who believe that every diet should be tailored to the person depending on what their energy requirement is and their physical activity or daily activity is in order for this to fit that specific person. Obviously, a pyramid like this that is completely flipped over is healthier, looks healthier just up till now, but could see some tailoring from person to person. And what are we talking about? Well, we're talking about that we could improve constipation. We could reduce that risk for colon cancer. And obviously, we could see cardiovascular disease improve also. This is something very important that was completely off the charts in the past decades, and this is something that we could fix if we put more antioxidant foods, vegetables, fruits, and ingredients of these sort in our bodies. Number three, the third, let's say, most volume of food we should be consuming in this pyramid are carbohydrates. Now, this is something that I do not agree with entirely. It could go into fourth place with fats. This is something that, again, has to be tailored to the needs of the person that is looking to do that diet or that proportion of food every day. But this is something very important. It's not now number one like it was with this pyramid that we were looking at 40 years ago. That's an improvement, but it still has to be looked upon to. What type of carbohydrates. Obviously, there are carbs that are healthier than others, right? Whole grains, etc. Grains that are not going through pesticides and an increased number of ingredients that are not natural to the human body. But you could look at whole rice, maybe potatoes, maybe some whole grains. Oatmeal can be considered a lot. Chia seeds, there are other grains like quinoa, excellent, great carbs, instead of those carbs that you are used to seeing every single day. And what is this going to help me with? Well, it's going to reduce, if I put carbs in the third place in this period, I'm going to see a reduction in diabetes type 2, insulin resistance, fatty liver, and all sorts of memory problems, dementia, Alzheimer's. All these conditions have a lot to do with insulin resistance, hormone balance, and obviously, circulation, metabolic rate, hormones, thyroid hormones, everything you can think of. Number 4, we want fats. Yes, I would put fats in number 3, and later down the road, maybe, it could be fighting itself depending on the person, depending on the requirements. But fats, olive oil, butter, avocado oil, coconut oil, flaxseed oil, all these oils that are healthy and not oils that are going to destroy your body completely. What are the benefits we're going to see? Well, we're going to see a reduction in cardiovascular disease. Remember, we were told 40 years ago that oils were the enemy. Well, now we know that that was not true, and it is not true for 99% of the world population. And at last, I would not even put the number 5 on a pyramid, but yes, it's on the pyramid. You have to consider it. Anything that has sugar, sweets, candy, all these foods that now are being thrown out by most young people because young people are not conscious that Kellogg's or cereals or Cheerios or whatever you can see in a supermarket is not real food. It never was, even though we were told that you needed to consume so much of it every single day. I can't believe this. I mean, I still can't believe this was something we needed to follow. I remember in kindergarten when I was in school in Florida, I would see this pyramid and who's gonna eat so many, like 6, 7 servings of cereal every day? Come on, give me a break. And that's something we as a humanity, as humans, we were supposed to believe in. So take that into consideration. Sugar, ultra processed foods and everything. You know what? I put it here, just try to avoid it. Don't even count it as part of this pyramid, but it's there. And you will see obviously a reduction in dental cavities, a reduction in obesity, type 2 diabetes, insulin resistance, fatty liver disease, circulatory problems, even aging, right? Because the more fat you have, the faster you age, and the faster you see diseases, conditions, problems, health conditions appear, just because this was number 1 back in the day. Don't forget to give this like button, don't forget to share, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.